wapendeza kupezeka dose myanangira kupezeka yese zakwambiri kuti zinthu zisike pang'ono wachifukwa cha nkhondo imene ku Middle East ndipo mafuta akupera kwambiri kwatiyesesa kwambiri kuti mene zisikenso patunosiasiyatiyesesa kwambiri kuti asike ife tikumakuti anthu akhale ndi moyo wabwino yesesanso kwambiri kuti ambe programu ija ya malata ndi simenti kuti anthu akhale nyumba zabwino komanso mukudziwa ma school fees aulere anthu akupita ku school mwaulere tsopano aliyense afa kupita ku school akupita ku sukulu monga nanena ena sakwasi anthu ana osapita ku school pana nkampeza munthu ina amene akwasiyana pamudzi osapita ku sukulu pane sukulu iya ulere amene nditsana naye aliyense apite ku sukulu kuti zikola lipite patsogolo kufika kuti aliyense akhale ophunzira.
President Mutharika further assured that his government will address the challenges people are facing following the recent fuel price hike, which he attributed to the war in the Middle East. Meanwhile, the Malawi leader says he is happy that, true to his promise, no person has died of hunger. President Mutharika is expected to be in the eastern region for some days and will proceed to Blantyre to continue with his official engagement. Mine Tomoti, NBC News, Mangochi.
Meanwhile, President Mutharika is in Mangochi and later he will proceed to Blantyre to continue with his official engagements. The Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, has joined His Excellency Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, the family and all Malawians in solemn remembrance of the late Professor Bingwa Mutharika, third President of the Republic of Malawi and the first President of the DPP, who passed away on 5th April 2012. Details in this report being read by Rapson Kondowe.
In a statement signed by Secretary General Peter Mokito, the party says Professor Bingwa Mutharika was a transformative leader, an economist of discipline, a patriot of conviction, and the architect of a development agenda that redefined Malawi's trajectory. It says as founder of the DPP, he established a culture of results-driven governance, institutional discipline, and national ambition, and that his presidency delivered decisive economic reform, restored food security, and advanced infrastructure development. The party has mentioned the Farm Input Subsidy Program, which stands as a defining achievement, providing that Malawi can be self-reliant, productive, and proud. The statement says his enduring lesson is clear. National progress demands disciplined and visionary leadership. Food security is the bedrock of sovereignty. Self-reliance must replace dependency, and board-principled decision-making is indispensable to the national interest. Professor Bingwa Mutharika's life affirms that the clarity of vision and firmness of purpose, Malawi can achieve lasting prosperity. Today, we recognize with pride that his vision continues to live on, ably advanced under the leadership of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, second President of the DPP and fifth and seventh President of the Republic of Malawi. This continuity reflects the strength, relevance, and durability of the ideals upon which the DPP was founded. The DPP says the greatest tribute we can offer is not remembrance alone, but action by upholding the values he stood for and advancing the foundation he laid as his legacy endures. His vision guides and his example challenges us. The statement concludes by extending deepest respect to Professor Bingwa Mutharika's family and to all Malawians inspired by his life. May his soul continue to rest in eternal peace.
Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Ben Perry has described the death of sub-traditional authority Malembo as a huge loss, saying the country has lost a dedicated champion of community development. Details with Austin Fogola.
Perry, who represented President Peter Mutharika, made the remarks during the burial ceremony held at Malembo Community School ground in Lilongwe. In his eulogy, Perry said the president is saddened by the passing of the chief describing him as a development-oriented leader whose contributions will be greatly missed. He also commended the bereaved family for appointing Jesse Mpinganjira as interim representative.
The President sends his condolences to the family. Any loss, regardless, is surely a sad moment, and the President shares the same with the family. But again, the President wishes to advise the family to follow a proper culture ethics that are the standards for the selection of the next chief. You know, if you miss it there, that's where court cases are, and the President would want to cut where possible so that that should not happen again.
A family representative, GVH Sikayama, said the chief died on 2 April after suffering from coughing and pneumonia. He described the late Sabuti A. Malembo as humble, a peacemaker, and committed to advancing development in his area. Speaking on behalf of fellow traditional leaders, Senior Chief Chadza said the chieftaincy has lost a pillar and a well of wisdom. Former head of state Lazarus Chakwera was among dignitaries who attended the funeral. Born in 1932, Edson Mngombe is survived by a wife, 8 children and 35 grandchildren. He began his leadership journey in 1997 as a group village headman before being elevated to sub-tradition authority Malembo in 2023. Austin Fukula, NBC News, Lilongwe.
Mzimba North District Health Office reports a steady increase in teenage pregnancies and women accessing post-abortion care services compared to the 2024-2025 financial year, which recorded approximately 5,300 teenage pregnancies and 130,000 women accessing post-abortion care services. Dr. Wamaka Msobole, Director of Health and Sanitation Services for Mzimba North DHO, said this during a media interaction organized by Paragon Arts in Mzuzu. Chugondi Pombi has more in this report, being read by Blessings Gondwe.
Speaking during a media interaction organized by Paragon Arts in Mzuzu, Dr. Wamaka Msobole, Director of Health and Sanitation Services for Mzimba North DHO, urged women to access proper medical services to avoid deaths that result from unsafe abortion.
Us as a district health office, I think we are very critical in sharing with the community the effects or the complications that we're seeing, but also teaching or providing the necessary information about sexual and reproductive health to the community and the other stakeholders. But our colleagues as well, so could be from social welfare. I think they're also very critical because they interact with the youth, they interact with families, they interact with parents. So our parents, our youths also need to have enough information about sexual and reproductive health and things to do with preventing teenage pregnancies.
Meanwhile, Director of Paragon Arts, Philemon Kuyipa, said they will work hand in hand with the Ministry of Health and relevant stakeholders in educating public about the consequences of unsafe abortion.
Cases of abortion that are happening in Malawi and also cases of death related to abortion, that really scares me. As an artist, I had to use my skills, which is art, to advocate for the awareness, because there are some guidelines which are there, post-abortion care guidelines, which are there on guiding the health practitioners on how they can handle a post-abortion patient.
Paragon Arts is implementing a project called Shattered Silence as part of its efforts to end the practice of unsafe abortion.
This is NBC News and you are with me, Evelis Jungambe. A reminder of the top stories. President Mutharika assures Malawians of government's commitment to addressing challenges facing the country. Mzimba District registered registers steady increase in teenage pregnancies and women accessing post-abortion care services. And in sports, Civil Service United emerged champions of the elite Easter Central Region Football Bonanza after defeating Goshen City Delta Dynamos by 3-0.
Something big is coming on NBC. Not what you've seen before. A new force is about to hit the road. Crafted for presence, engineered for power, designed to turn every head before it even arrives. You'll hear it before you see it. You'll feel it before you know it. This isn't just another launch. It's the beginning of advanced broadcasts. Unveiling soon on NBC. Stay ready.
Welcome back. Malawi has long relied on charcoal and firewood for energy despite government's efforts to curb the practice. This dependency has led to widespread deforestation across the country's forests. As a cleaner alternative, liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) was introduced to the market, and NBC's Blessings Deleuga reports on how Malawians are now beginning to embrace this shift.
According to Global Forest Watch, an online platform providing forest monitoring data, Malawi lost approximately 1,100 hectares of humid primary forest between 2002 and 2024. This represents a significant 22% reduction in its total primary forest cover. The country's heavy reliance on charcoal remains a primary driver of deforestation, with World Bank estimates suggesting that around 33,000 hectares of forest are lost annually due to charcoal production and related activities. However, this trend is gradually shifting as more households adopt liquefied petroleum gas (LPG). Consumers report that the switch has significantly improved their quality of life. Katrina Mpumira, a Blantyre resident who recently transitioned from charcoal to LPG, called on the government to ensure the gas remains consistently available.
Gas is cheap than using charcoal, and it's quick, also than even using electricity. We shouldn't have a shortage of gas, because if you have a shortage of gas, then we'll go back, we'll think, it's better to be using charcoal because charcoal is everywhere. So I think we should be having gas.
Statistics from the Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority (MERA) show that gas consumption has risen steadily. In 2021, consumption stood at 1.5 million kilograms. This figure grew to approximately 2.2 million kilograms in 2022 and reached 2.85 million kilograms by 2023. Most recently, MERA reported that LPG imports surged by 40%, reaching 4 million kilograms. Suppliers are also seeing record demand. Mark Wira, a partner at Gasman in Blantyre, noted that the company introduced over 1,300 new gas cylinders in 2025, all of which sold out quickly.
Well, in all honesty, the usage of gas has greatly increased. Especially in the last 4 years, we can say from 2020 to figures collected up to 2024 from MERA, we have experienced an 80% increase in the usage of gas. The customer base is significantly growing because we can attest to that because of the number of new products that are being purchased. Not just refills, but actual new cylinder sets and stove sets, which are new users. we always experience over 100 customers plus in a day.
Blantyre District Forest Officer Noe Omoyo stated that this shift has lessened environmental pressure. However, he urged environmental activists to intensify public awareness campaigns to further promote LPG use.
I think now people have realized the importance of using gas rather than relying on firewood and charcoal. We know that gas is very efficient when it comes to cooking. It has less smoke compared to charcoal, even firewood. So using gas, I think, is a good idea. And at the same time, we all understand that as people are using gas instead of charcoal, they are making our work easier so that we can be able to manage the remaining trees that we are having currently.
Experts believe that if LPG adoption continues to scale nationwide, the rate of deforestation could slow significantly. This would help mitigate climate-related disasters such as floods and droughts, which currently threaten Malawi's agricultural productivity and food security. Blessings Echeleuka, MBC, Blantyre.
African Parks has donated boreholes to communities surrounding the Majete Wildlife Reserve to significantly improve access to clean water. This initiative focuses on boosting local livelihoods and fostering better relations between the park management and the residents. More details in this report by Jean Jinsamba.
For years, people living around Majete Wildlife Reserve have struggled to access safe and reliable water sources. Women and children in particular have had to walk long distances to fetch water, often from unsafe streams. But this is now changing. African Parks, the organization managing Majete Wildlife Reserve, has stepped in to ease the burden by drilling and installing boreholes in several villages around the park. The initiative is part of broader efforts to support community development while promoting conservation.
If you try to check on the government policy, what we say is water is an economic and asset, social asset. So what we are trying to say here as African Parks Majete, we have provided an economic and social asset. Water is life. The moment you have drilled this bore here, you saw this bore here, it means we have actually reduced a lot of challenges that people were facing. I will tell you one thing. They had the households here in this village.
The local leader in the area, Group Nzinja, has welcomed the development, describing it as timely and life-changing for their communities.
We are going to take care of this borehole, and we are willing to work hand in hand with African Parks in taking care of the environment.
On their part, women who are often responsible for fetching water say the project will significantly ease their daily struggles.
We had so many challenges before this borehole. We used to travel long distances to get water. The development was affecting our daily lives.
The borehole project highlights the growing link between conservation and community well-being, with African Parks Majete emphasizing that supporting local communities remains key to protecting natural resources around Majete Wildlife Reserve. Jean Jinsamba, MBC News, Blantyre.
Moving on to sports, Civil Service United have emerged champions of the elite Easter Central Region Football Bonanza after defeating Goshen City Dedza Dynamos with a 3-0 margin at Dedza Stadium. China Chira scored brace with the other that came behind from Madali Tsumaso. 8 elite league teams from Central Region participated in the Bonanza, which started Thursday last week. The teams are Silver Strikers, Civil Service United, Kamuzu Barracks, Blue Eagles, Craig Sporting, Goshen City Leza Dynamus, Mitundu Baptist and AFCO. Meanwhile, Moyale Barracks was on Sunday crowned champions of Super 4 Bonanza, which attracted 4 elite league clubs from the northern region. Last week, Ekaya FC were crowned champions of Sabitwa 4 Bonanza in Mulanje. These tournaments were organized to prepare the teams for the upcoming 2026-2027 football season, which kickstarts on the 25th of this month. And well, that item also concludes this edition of MBC News. A recap of our top stories before we leave. President Mutharika assures Malawians of government's commitment to addressing challenges facing the country. Mzimba district registers steady increase in teenage pregnancies and women accessing post-abortion care services. And in sports, Civil Service United emerged champions of the elite Easter Central Region Football Bonanza after defeating Goshen City Leza Dynamus by 3-0. For more news, visit MBC Digital on Facebook, X and Instagram. You've been with me, Evelis Chingambe. Thanks for watching and good morning.
Something big is coming on NBC. Not what you've seen before. A new force is about to hit the road. Crafted for presence, engineered for power, designed to turn every head before it even arrives. You'll hear it before you see it. You'll feel it before you know it. This isn't just another launch. It's the beginning of advanced broadcasts. Unveiling soon on NBC. Stay ready.
Chipendeza cha ine, sinditi wa china ine, chokosera apa